Hello, everybody. You know who this is. I mean, I always say hello, everybody. I'm Razorblade Mango, but you click on the channel, you know who this is. So I'm not gonna say it tonight. I'm gonna take take a lesson from Doom and just jump right into it. This game, should you buy it? Yeah, totally buy it. I've gone on and on and on about Doom. On and on and on, probably to the point of where people are tired of hearing about me gush over it. Initially, I played the game back in October when it was in its alpha state for the multiplayer. I loved it. I declared at the time that it was probably the most fun I've had playing a multiplayer shooter maybe ever. Maybe since, I don't know, the original Modern Warfare. Maybe even more than that. So I was very impressed by it, and I was even more impressed by the beta. I had a blast playing it, even with all the people complaining about it and saying, oh, it was horrible, it was terrible. I loved it. I didn't give a shit. But recently, I was a little worried. I will admit that. I was a little worried about this game because I have recently, in like the coming few months, in like the past few months, I have not liked the way Bethesda has been marketing this game. Be it with that Day of Doom, which, you know, it was interesting to see gameplay of it, but I don't trust anything from Rooster Teeth since, in my opinion, they're a bunch of twats. I don't like the way they've been marketing Doom. It's like, oh, we're going to have it be a part of a UFC event. We're going to have a bunch of paid sponsorships. They're showing highly scripted, highly controlled demos. The fact that they didn't give out any review copies before the game launched publicly, which is always a bad sign in my opinion. And like when they announced that, I went, oh no. Oh no, Bethesda, don't make me regret having faith in you. Please, I don't want to look stupid. Please don't make me regret it. And turns out they had nothing to worry about because this game is really good. No, it's not. I don't think it's fantastic. I don't love it. I mean, that could change, of course, by the time the best of 2016 rolls around. But it is a hell of a game, no pun intended. It's a lot of fun. So I guess I'll start with the game is divided into 3 sections. There's the campaign, which is pretty lengthy, and it has like 5 different difficulties, and only 2 of them can be played after you've beaten the game already. There's the multiplayer, of course, which I've talked about a lot. I made a whole nother video about the beta, so I'm going to keep that short. And Stat Map, which is an interesting little system where users can make their own maps. It's limited to 4 players, but so far I'm already seeing some pretty interesting stuff with it, like music makers and a memory game. There's even like an arcade machine that is like it's like a whack-a-demon kind of thing. But campaign, basically, if you want to play this game for its story, then you're probably not gonna enjoy it because there's not pretty much the story of Doom is you are a super soldier, kill demons. That's pretty much it. You might, navigate the environment a little bit, open up some doors, stuff like that. But the majority of Doom is you are a really pissed off super soldier going around blowing shit up with big ass guns and stomping demons to death with your bare hands and feet. It is fucking, like, the combat feels great. And I know they've put a lot of word of mouth into the combat because all they talk about is like it's the combat, it's all about the gameplay. Everything else is secondary. Besides, I guess, the graphics and the sound, which, like, the graphics, the sound, and then the gameplay is the most important part. Story, you might want to pick another game. And usually I have a problem with that, and I don't usually like a lot of first-person shooter campaigns, but I must admit, I've been getting into what I think I've played like 5, 6 hours of the campaign so far. Um, it's pretty damn good. I don't love it. I know Total Biscuit, who I have a lot of respect for, made a video about it recently. He was gushing over it. He literally called the video, "I'm now going to gush over Doom's campaign for 20 minutes." I don't love it, probably because I find it a little bit repetitive. You're kind of basically just doing the same objectives over and over again, and the environments start to feel kind of the same after a while. But it's mostly enjoyable, just of course thanks to the combat, and that's something they had to get right. And I feel like they got that down to almost to a T. It's great combat. It feels awesome. It's so fast. It's even faster than it is in the multiplayer, which when I actually went back to the multiplayer after playing a few hours in the campaign, I actually felt slow. It actually felt really. I mean, it was still fast as shit, but it was still slower compared to the campaign, which is cool because you need to be quick in the campaign. It's because even on, regular difficulty, and I'm playing it on Hurt Me Plenty, which is the normal difficulty, it is still quite a challenge. And I'm scared and excited to see how my skills do when I try out the harder difficulties. But so far, it's quite a challenge. I've died quite a bit against not only just some. Unfortunately, there are some cheap deaths regarding the environment stuff. I'm not a big fan of some of the environment puzzles, just because you can get lost in them sometimes, and sometimes the input from the buttons don't always read right. Because melee and interacting with objects share the same button. So whenever I tried trying to get out of one area and I hit the button, it would just melee the panel that I was trying to touch, and I ended up dying because of that, and I got kind of pissed off. But oddly enough, the game kind of reminds me of, the Dark Souls level of difficulty. Not like it's as difficult as Dark Souls is. It's the same kind of difficulty philosophy, where it's tough, but it's mostly fair. It's mostly very fair. And right from the get-go, they throw a lot of demons at you. I mean, they have Hell Knights. They've got the big fat dude. Sorry, I'm not as familiar with the Doom franchise as a lot of people are. Mainly my experience with Doom is playing Doom 3 back on the original Xbox. But I'm really enjoying this so far, and I like that elements that could have been overpowered and made you feel more like a tank rather than an agile, a vulnerable super soldier. I was worried that the chainsaw was going to be overpowered. I was worried that the glory kills were going to be overpowered, but the game finds a really interesting way to make them almost, their usage at least, almost strategic. It's really weird. The chainsaw, whenever you kill something with the chainsaw, it belches out a ton of ammo and some health. So you have to use it wisely. Really, the only time I ever use the chainsaw is when I need ammo or I need health. And the health bar goes down pretty quickly, even on the normal difficulty. I mean, unless, of course, you're just standing there like an idiot, which has been the focus point of id for the past year or so. They're like, look, if you stand still during this combat and try to find cover, you're gonna die. This game, it's all about you move. The game literally puts a gun in your hand right in the beginning and says, go, 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 go! And you just go, 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 go. And the game very rarely stops for a numerous length of time. It's only 1 or 2 moments that the game stops so far, extensively to catch your breath. And it's only when you're talking some of the characters, which, speaking of characters, that's one of the things I really like about this game. And one of the things I was hoping it would include, one of the things that I was worried that they were going to leave out from the E3 demo. This game is really funny. And I don't mean in a jokey kind of way. I mean, this game has its tongue so firmly rooted into its cheek that it's like almost bursting out from its face. It knows it is gloriously stupid. It knows it is violent and gore filled. It's borderline sadistic, but it's still funny. It has like little moments that really sell you on kind of like the, not only like, I mean, there's really like zero character development for the Doom guy. Well, of course there would be. It's a fucking Doom game. I really don't care about making the Doom guy a relatable, likable protagonist. But there's just little things like the Doom guy. He reacts rather violently to like everything. His character development boils down to, I'm really fucking pissed off and annoyed at these demons, so I'm just going to fucking destroy them out of sheer annoyance. And I'm not doing it because I give a shit about any of the science bullshit. Like, there's a point in the game where one of the characters will be like, hey, you need to secure these items. You keep them intact. You need to make sure they're functional. And the Doom guy just walks up to him and just smashes the shit out of them to the point where they're not even useful anymore. He doesn't care. And I think that's really funny. It has like that very subtle, dark sense of humor. One of my favorites also is whenever you get to an upgrade robot, and whenever the Doom guy chooses an upgrade for one of his guns, he'll fucking clock the robot for like no reason. It's this poor little drone that just wants to be there to help you, and the Doom guy just punches the shit out of this robot just for no reason, just because he's like fuck it, and just punches this poor robot, which I think is hilarious, and I laughed out loud when I first saw that. And it's little stuff like that that really sells you on the sense of humor that the sense of humor that Doom has. I mean, of course, the violence is hilarious in how like over the top and insane it can get, and also I really like the look of the game. The look of the game is great. Very nice, cool metal industrial complexes. Hell looks really awesome. I know they were going for like kind of like an Iron Maiden kind of look, and it looks great. Very memorable set pieces. I haven't encountered any like big boss battles yet. Really, like the majority of this game is you just going around in these environments, opening doors, and clearing out certain what do they call them, like hell nests or something. And I was worried that was going to get really repetitive. And when I first saw that on like one of the live streams, I went, oh no, I hope this isn't a fucking Destiny situation where that's the majority of the game. Just horde mode. But it's not. It is, I mean, it happens quite a bit, but it doesn't feel repetitive. It always feels like, you know, hey, there's a reason this is here. And all of those encounters, they never feel the same. They all provide a pretty awesome challenge. Speaking of challenge, there's a lot of secrets in this game. I even like the first level, when I finished it, I missed all of the secrets. Probably because I didn't even know that the first level had them, but going back, this game already has quite a bit of replay value just because of how many secrets there are in the environment and how many items you can pick up. There's like little Doom dolls scattered around. There's runes you can uncover that when you complete the challenges that they offer, they will give you a new rune or whatever they're called to make yourself more powerful. There's hidden power-ups like quadruple damage and berserker mode, which are awesome. So there's a lot I can already tell there's a lot of replay value with Doom. And I'm pretty happy with what I've seen from the single player so far. I like it a lot. I don't love it, like I said, but I like it. Also, the weapons pack a nice punch too. I was worried from the beta, which I will admit, one of the things I did have a problem with. Two problems I had with the multiplayer beta. One, the lack of kick in the weapons, and two, the fact that there was barely any music playing. And I know like Doom isn't known for like an iconic score or whatever like Halo, but it is still, you know, music like the heavy industrial metal kind of thing plays a large part in getting like your heart pumping when you're going into battle. And Doom does that really well. The single player does. Whenever like a big encounter pops up and that like that heavy metal music starts coming in, oh my god, it just makes my heart like, yes, hell yeah. And it gets you pumped, which is awesome. I also really liked the kick that the weapons have. Like, I felt like I almost like bounced back in my chair the first time I fired the BFG. It feels powerful, and you feel like such a badass. But yeah, I'm overall really liking the campaign. I'm hoping it keeps the momentum up, because I hear like it's, like I said, it's pretty lengthy. I've heard like it's a good 10 to 11 hours depending on the difficulty, but I'm looking forward to seeing if it holds up throughout the whole thing. And moving right along to multiplayer, which I've promoted since the day I laid my hands on that controller while playing it. It is I know a lot of people are very meh or just about the multiplayer and are really enjoying the single player. I'm the opposite. The thing that seals the deal for me for this game, potentially like being a top 10 of the year contender, is the multiplayer. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. They've actually improved some stuff from the beta. The weapons actually have more kick. There's very little lag from what I'm seeing. The servers were really good, shockingly good for launch night, because I got this the night it came out. And the map designs are really cool. I really like using the Baron from Hell power up. I haven't unlocked any of the other demons yet, but I'm still enjoying the Revenant. The Revenant's a lot of fun. And overall, yeah, the multiplayer is still a really fun experience. Also, the modes, which I think my favorite is still Team Deathmatch. Freeze Tag is alright too, but Team Deathmatch is still my favorite. It's like the one that I primarily go to whenever I boot up the multiplayer. That could change, because I need to start playing this game with friends to see if it's like, I already know it's great, but I want to see if they get into it as much as I do. So I hope that happens, because I'm really looking forward to playing with friends. But yeah, the majority of the reason why I'm into Doom right now is the multiplayer, and it still shocks me that people, I guess, hated it. I don't understand it. I really just don't get it. But okay, different strokes for different folks. I understand that. It's just which finally brings me to Snap Map, which is one of the more, when I was watching this with a friend, he said, I'd really like, right when they were done talking about the multiplayer, he went, I'd really like a user-created, map section where people can create their own shit. And right when he said that, they were like, oh, here's Doom's Snap Map. And I was like, see? There we go. This game is like the 1-2-3 punch of all this cool stuff. And I think with this, with the addition of Snap Map, this game is pretty much like the standard of what I want a future first-person shooters to do. I want it to be this 3-act thing where it's story, multiplayer, and then some kind of user creation thing. I've always really liked games, and this game has a lot of content already with the single player and the multiplayer, but it just feels like icing on the cake when there's some kind of user created thing, like Halo's Forge mode. I remember being awesome. And I've always really enjoyed one of my friends making these awesome maps for Halo Reach with the Forge mode, and I'm hoping he creates some kick-ass stuff. I'm terrible when it comes to these map designs, but thankfully there's quite an extensive tutorial for them, for idiots like me when it comes to custom making your own maps, because like I said, pretty terrible at it. But the way it's sad that this game has a better tutorial for its user creation maps editor program than Street Fighter V did initially for its fucking fighting, for its combat. Wow. Wowie. So, I mean, I mean, of course, credit to id and Bethesda, but you know, god damn it, Capcom. Anywho, the snap map is actually pretty fun to tinker around with. I'm in the process of creating something. I'll post it when I finally, like, quote unquote perfected it. But so far, I'm seeing a lot of fun stuff with the community. Like I said, there's the music game. There's a game where there's like an arcade machine with like Whack-A-Demon. There's a memory-based game. There's a tons of recreations of the original Doom levels, which is really awesome. There's like horde mode. There's co-op stuff. It just adds value. They don't need to do something like this. They didn't need to. They could have just let the community mod all this stuff, but for people that don't have a PC that want to get into this kind of stuff, it adds value. And I really appreciate Bethesda, not Bethesda, but id Software going out of their way to include all of this content for a full retail price. I complain a lot about games that don't seem to offer a lot of bang for the $60 buck. I mean, Star Wars Battlefront, Rainbow Six Siege, Street Fighter V, those are all, famous examples recently of games that I feel like don't offer a lot for $60, or that promise to offer a lot for $60 up front. This is a game, even with the $40 season pass, which again, do not buy the 40. Please, for the love of God, do not buy the season pass before you play this game. Even I don't own the fucking season pass yet, and I think this is a really fun game. I'm not gonna buy it until I see what the first expansion pack is gonna be for the multiplayer. So yeah, just don't buy the season pass, for the love of God. Just no, please don't. But even with the $40 season pass, is Doom worth $60? Yes. Absolutely yes. In my opinion, this has been a great week for games. It's pretty rare that I come across a week where two games come out that I have no problem recommending full price on this channel. I mean, if you have a PS4 and you've got $120, $130 to spare, then Uncharted 4 and Doom. Those are like the two things that, in my opinion, you should get and are totally worth the asking price. So, I'm glad. And this is actually like a Total Biscuit said correctly. This is a return to form for id, because I don't remember the last time id made a game that was like so warmly received like Doom. I don't even remember the last time they made a game. I think it was Rage or whatever that game was, the like the Mad Max kind of thing, which I thought was pretty shitty. But they've kind of been out of the loop for a number of years, and this I think is going to put them right back in the spotlight, and deservedly so, because Doom rules. Doom is so much fun. I cannot wait to finish the single player. I can't wait to see what the community comes up with the snap map. And I'm really excited to try out more of the multiplayer stuff. And I'm excited to see what extra maps, extra demons they can put into there. So overall, would I recommend Doom? Yes. Would I recommend a day one purchase? Yes. Would I recommend a $60 asking price? Yes. Hell yes. Absolutely. And I'm glad that my all the hype and my faith in this game was well founded, because I was worried there for a while. Don't do this again, Bethesda. Don't do this thing where you don't hand out review copies anymore, okay? Have a little more faith in your products. And that's not an excuse to where, we can't turn the servers on until the day the game comes out. Yes, you can. I'm sorry. You can. That's a bullshit excuse. And thankfully they had no reason to fear, because the game itself is pretty kick-ass. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. As always, let me know what you think of Doom. If you've played it, if you haven't played it, you have no interest, whatever. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. Take care.